It's been a frustrating tournament for Judd Trump down the years. Those 3 finals, 2 of which he lost in a deciding frame.
Foul. Enemies. Judd Trump 4.
Yes, I think he played it with a trace of right hand side, so it's quite hard to get the thin edge there when you do that. Going back though, so he'll have to play it well, and of course this replacement is never easy when there's a thin edge available of a pot. So Peggy Lee will have to do a good job here just to get the balls back correctly.
Yep. Foul.
It must have been replaced correctly because it's exactly the same shot. And it's going to go back again. I wonder if O'Sullivan's got access to a red full ball here, which means he'll get warned. I don't know. We'll have to have a look at the setup. It's one thing being able to hit one in the middle of the bunch. But why would you want to hit that red? I suppose only if you have to, yeah. He'll get warned here. Because he can get to reds fully. I think that's what Peggy Lee is now looking at. No warning? Well, okay. Well, maybe he can't get to red fully, but I feel that from there, he could. And that would have been the 3 strikes rule, because you've got to be able to hit full on, not both sides of a red. Maybe the angle we've got is deceptive.
Crowd appreciating that safety from Judd Trump. It is a vital part of today's match, given the heavyweight scoring that both bring to the table. Who can create more opportunities with the safety and in turn keep their opponent under pressure away from a long pot.
Foul.
It's the worst way to miss one.
Judd Trump 4.
Leave the red that you're trying to hit. Now, I think the black may just creep into the right corner. If you can just run this in slowly and be on it.
1.
Not that time, but the shot still remains that if the black goes, he can land on a red and be on the black, and all of a sudden he could be in business here.
Six. Seven.
A little straight on this. Probably the best he could do.
Fourteen. Judd Trump, 14.
Yeah, it was quite a thin pot there. Mistakes still happening on both sides.
One. Ronnie Sullivan, 1.
Not the most ambitious safety shot ever played. Just freeing up the green and brown, I think. But of course, playing off the side of the bunch, if he does here, there's always a chance of red will go close to one of the right, one of the corner pockets, probably the right side.
I mentioned that Trump is going for his 40th professional title this weekend. For O'Sullivan, it would be his 80th.
1.
And he's found the thin edge of the red.
Three.
What a miss.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
For
3.
no apparent reason. He looks quite surprised. We're quite surprised. I mean, this is pretty regulation. Well, he can get to enough of the red to hit it, but not necessarily to pot it, judging by player view there. guess the bottom line is if O'Sullivan loses this frame, he'll be thinking about that easy red. But he's still very much in the frame right now. On the balance of play, it's hard to say either player really deserves to be that far in front. 2-all feels like a more realistic score. Maybe Trump's been slightly better, but not much.
The other thing is that they're both very wary of one another. They know how dangerous the other can be. The pressure, I guess, is a little more on Trump today, though, to reverse the recent trend. He was looking good to do that, as mentioned, at the World Grand Prix last season in the final when he led 4-0, but ultimately lost 10-7. And was well below par when they played in the Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker Invitational. Albeit that was over the best of 7, but Trump really didn't show up that day, beaten 4-1.
Yeah, of course, best of 7 with an extra ball on the table at the the beginning of frames, that golden ball which was placed just below where the brown is now, right in the middle of the cushion. It barely moved. And of course, when a maximum break was not available, it was taken off the table. So it didn't really play much of a part, but I think John Higgins got to the yellow for a maximum during the course of that event. It'll happen at some point, because maximums do happen, but they don't happen at will.
Trump couldn't have got much closer to that long red.
Yeah, that looks a good shot. That's a congested side of the table on the right on this occasion. There is the top red, thin contact cue might be coming back down towards the blue on the return. He's avoided all that. That's a good shot. Significant exchange this, because balls are pretty well placed for the first person to get in. Great pot, and the cue ball was also pretty well played, because that was also a big part of the last shot. He doesn't want to be straight on the green. He deserves an angle. And the balls were just about to come to rest. I don't think he has a great angle.
Five.
It It was a quite brilliant long red from Judd Trump. Didn't touch the sides, and we've seen so many of those down the years from him, not least in that world final against John Higgins, when
12.
Higgins just could not hide the cue ball.
13. Twenty. 21.
Yeah, just gone through the gap far enough. So it's okay.
28.
50-point lead and more to come, you feel here.
Just magnifies
29.
the significance of that glaring error from O'Sullivan when he was in, missed the red from short range into the right pocket. Didn't cost him in terms of a chance for Trump at the time, but it meant that he missed the opportunity to level the scores at the interval, and that brilliant long red just now from Trump appears to have set him up for a 3-1 lead. 58 in
36.
front. 75 on, so a couple more reds for a very satisfactory start to this semi-final for Trump.
37.
Hasn't played his best, but he's played well enough.
Thanks. 43. 44.
Applause for frame ball. Trump will be delighted with this. O'Sullivan made a 95 break,
49.
but aside from that, hasn't quite hit his straps as yet.
50. 55.
I think the match will get better and better. I think these early frames, as we say, it's just a bit
56.
nervy for both players. You've got to sort of get your stamp on the match, and it's been quite hard for either to do it. But Judd is now beginning to do that. He's taken 3 of the frames, so he'll be more than happy, given he knows he can play better than this himself.
63. 64. 71.
Enough there for a 4th century of the tournament for Trump.
72.
'In terms of rate of making centuries, he's right up there with O'Sullivan.
79.
Closing in on 1,000 for his career.
81.
Of course, he turned pro 13 years after his opponent today. Incredible talent.
84.
The youngest player at 14 to make a competitive maximum.
$88. 93.
Yeah, if this does become a century, I figure it will not be the last in this match. I reckon
99.
about 4 between these two players. We saw 4 last night from Sean Murphy, but this has been a much better break than anything that's gone before.
Century number 984 for Judd Trump's decorated career. The crowd enjoying that. Ronnie Sullivan.